but even more importantly, you want to continue working with them. That's what it's about. And I think that's got to be the mindset shift for you guys. Who do you want to work with? Today is day number 3 of the Confident Yoga Teacher Bootcamp. I'm your host, Crystal Gray, and we are talking about building a loyal following today. This is really building upon the other things we've learned. So we've talked about your inner mean girl. We've talked about how to turn your perceived limiting beliefs or your perceived limitations into your assets. I hope that really started to sink in. It might take a little while for you to believe it, but every time your inner mean girl starts telling you that stuff, I really want you to just take a second. It's all about awareness, right? In yoga, it's all about awareness. And this is really taking your yoga practice off of your mat and will help you to transform your life. This is really why we do yoga in the first place, right? So today we're talking about building a loyal following, but not only that, but how do you keep your students coming back? So yesterday we talked about how to turn your perceived limitations into your assets. Okay, so what did that mean? That means that whatever you feel like is not will hold you back from being a great teacher will actually help empower your students to come to your class and to feel safe and supported and seen and understood in your yoga classes. So important, okay? So that's what's going to really help them to come to your yoga classes, right? But how do you keep them really coming back? And how do you really start to help them create transformation in their own lives, okay? And I'm going to tell you how to do that. And so that you can create raving fans that want to keep coming back and working with you. If you have worked with me, a lot of my people that go through my 200-hour yoga teacher training, they go through my 500-hour yoga teacher training, and then we do business coaching together because they just want to continue working with me and I want to continue working with them. And it works out that way because I'm not putting up any sort of front in the beginning, right? I'm cussing, I'm being myself. I'm not wearing like a mala, and nothing against any of those things. But I feel like a lot of times we try to hide behind what we think a yoga teacher looks like, and so we feel like we've got to have on like the perfect, the mala, I'm not going to lie. I've got malas. I love them, but I don't want to show up that way because it's just not how I dress every single day. So I'm not going to be like, okay, let me put on like my yoga guru outfit. Now I'm ready to talk to you guys, because that's not authentic. If that's what I'm wearing around all day, fine, but that's not what I'm wearing. And so I think it's just really important to start showing up more authentically earlier so that you don't have any surprises, so that your students want to continue working with you. But even more importantly, you want to continue working with them. That's what it's about. And I think that's got to be the mindset shift for you guys. Who do you want to work with? Who do you want to work with? Not, how do I get all these people to like me and come to my classes? Forget all that, you guys. That's a waste of time. That is an energy suck. It's a time suck. And it's not going to get you where you really want to go. Who do you want to work with? I want you to think about that, and I would love for you to write that in the comments. Who do you want to work with? Okay, so how do we do this? This is how we did this. If you're going through the workbook, I asked you 3 questions. Number 1, what's your story? And number 2, what are some of those areas of your story that you feel comfortable like talking about and sharing? Because that's what's going to connect people to you, is by sharing some of your story, right? You know some of my stories. Some of you might resonate with me because I live on a farm. I'm a farm girl. I grew up in the country. Yes, I've lived in LA and Chicago and places like that, but I'm a farm girl at heart. I'm a tomboy. I love watching ghost shows. I cuss a lot. I listen to hard rock. But I also listen to like Sarah Bareilles, So, and I'm a former addict. I'm kind of in your face about things. I'm loud. I'm a little over the top. Those are some things about me. So maybe you like those and that's why you resonated with me, right? I'm sick of hiding those things. I'm done. I'm just going to be me. And I realized that a long time ago, and and it's getting easier and easier every day. But my third question is, what are you good at and what do you love to teach? So is there something that, if you're already teaching yoga, like many of you are, it's okay if you're not, but what's something that your students tell you over and over that you're really good at? I never thought I'd be leading yoga teacher trainings. Never in a million years did I ever think I'd be doing that. But I had people tell me over and over, like, you're so good at teaching alignment. You're so good at making things accessible. You're so good at making things understandable. And I just started to notice things that were left out of some other trainings, and not even that, but maybe just weren't focused on or weren't absorbed in a lot of other trainings. And I wanted to fill in the gaps and do the mindset stuff, because that's what people tell me I'm good at. I'm good at seeing things in you that you do not see yet, okay? And that's what I love doing. So people tell you that over and over and over enough, you're going to start to listen and believe it. And then I want you to focus on teaching those things. So those are the 3 questions that I have for you today. All right. Now, you might not feel comfortable sharing your whole story. That's okay. You don't have to share everything about your past or whatever, like I do. You don't have to do that. Okay. But as you start to share more, people will be like, oh, that they are a real person. Okay, if they can do yoga, then I can do yoga, right? If they can transform their life, then I can. If they can bounce back from that, shit, I can bounce back from where I've been. You know what I mean? And that's empowering. So what I want you to start thinking about is, whenever you look at your story, here's the thing. Is there a past version of yourself that you would really love to help? For me, the past version of myself that I want to help is the person who is still maybe kind of hiding who they are a little bit. They feel like maybe they're not quite, whatever they are in their core is maybe not quite good enough. Like, okay, well, maybe Crystal can be herself, but for whatever reason, that's good enough, to show my authentic self. Maybe that person can show their authentic self. It's okay for them to do it, but the world doesn't want to see me. Yes, they do. The world does want to see you, and it needs to see exactly who you are. So what makes you you? What makes you relatable to people? All right, and I want you to look at this version of yourself that you would love to help, that you'd love to spend time helping. So I'm in recovery, right? But that doesn't mean that I want to help addicts necessarily. That's not my niche. Yes, I teach at a recovery center. That just kind of fell into my lap, but that's not my niche. My niche is helping people like you, yogis like you, to gain the confidence to go out there and shine your light and change the world. That's who I want to help. Right? So you need to, and that's that past version of me. And that's how I can help you, because I've been there. So you need to choose somewhere where you've been, because people will resonate with you. They would be like, oh my gosh, they are talking just to me. Now, does that mean that in your local area, if somebody comes up and says, hey, can you come teach this class for us? You're going to be like, oh, sorry, no. I only lead yoga teacher trainings. No, that's not going to happen. But especially if you're thinking about teaching online, or if you want to do coaching, like yoga coaching, which is like basically private yoga lessons, but just in a way where you add a little bit more. I teach it in my 500. What you can do then is charge money for that, because you help solve a specific problem. The other reason why you want to be able to do that is so that people can refer you. Okay, so like I've got a trainee, somebody who went through my 500-hour, Kaylin. She focuses on recovery. She's a recovery coach. I'm going to send people to her that I know are in recovery, and they're focusing on that. If that's their area of focus right now, that's what they need help in. I'm going to send them to her. I know someone who focuses on scoliosis. Okay, I'm going to send them to her. Ooh, Sarah just joined. She teaches around brain injuries. I'm going to send people to her. So it doesn't cut you off at the knees. It actually makes the right people come to you that you want to help, but it will keep them coming back because you understand them and you see them. So let me know in the comments if this makes sense. Please try to do the homework that's in the workbook, because it'll really help you to dive deeper. Today was day 3. You are doing amazing. Keep doing the work, because I promise you it will pay off. I can't wait to read your comments. All right, you guys, have a great day. Bye. Namaste.